everyone. Oh my gosh, it has been forever. I feel like it's been a minute, but we have been, on our grind, making Ish Talkers the best that it could be, and we are so excited to finally be back. We are so
Woohoo!
Yes, right? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Do we have so much ish to talk about? Bravo has been giving. It has been giving everything. But for those of you that may have forgotten, I think we need to reintroduce ourselves. A
Yeah.
reintroductory moment. So I am Christina. As you guys know, I love Bravo. The TV never comes off of Bravo. Definitely have not been turning my TV off of Bravo. So yeah, the aficionado is here and ready to get into it.
Hey guys, good to be back. It's Ramona, the Bravo historian.
And I'm Tiana, the lover of all things Black Bravo.
Oh,
I've been loving Black Bravo since what, like Whitney Houston and Bobby?
oh,
Oh,
but
don't get me excited about the glasses scene in the store. Favorite Bravo moment.
but I feel like the lovers of all Black Bravo right now, you are really in your
I am.
Bravo.
Oh, you are having your
I
moment.
am.
And the
Like-
moment is going to keep momenting because
Yes.
Atlanta's coming back soon.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. If you guys follow us on TikTok or Instagram or any social media, you will see right now, all of Tiana's posts are the ones that are really trending. The quad,
Yeah.
Karen,
Yeah.
who who else? Bose, we've talked about. Who else have you been blowing up over your post?
Sweet and slow.
Oh
I mean,
yes,
Letitia.
Sweet Tea. Yes, Lipton. There's so many nicknames we have for her.
Letitia.
Letitia, Letitia, Letitia.
Just why? Just why? But
We're going to get there.
right. But before we do all that, I think when we wrapped, it was the holidays. So what has everyone been up to?
Oh, I got my nose done, according to Christina.
Oh yes, Tiana got a nose job.
I got
Yes.
an ethnic rhinoplasty.
The nose job looks good, girl.
Tiana, insert Tiana's picture. Nose
Oh
job.
God, no. I can breathe now. I didn't know you bitches were getting all this air for free.
I love that for you that you can finally breathe again.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Ramona, too.
And for me, it's just more just mom life, work life. And I think we all have just had a weird, month or so with what has been going on in our city and the fires of it all. And it's just been a really, just what our country is going through politically right now. It's just been a really strange past couple months.
Yeah.
That much is true.
It's just always on the grind. I struggle because I'm part bachelorette, part mom. So, we have the kid, the last one in the house, 2 years left till high school. I mean, high school is done. And then, it's that other week, it's just I'm just living my best. I'm living my best bachelorette life. I don't cook. I don't clean. What's that?
Okay, Cardi.
I don't cook. I don't clean. And then it's he comes and then I was oh gosh, I'm confused.
Back to being a domestic.
Exactly. And I get confused, but construction is constructioning. It's been going really, really well and working on some really good projects, slightly Bravo related. Yeah, maybe more to come on that for sure. Well, without further ado, I don't know about you guys, but
I'm bursting at the seams with ish. I have so much ish on my chest.
Right?
It's overflowing.
Right? Our best session, our best segment we all love.
Yes.
Yeah. So Ramona, take us there.
Okay, so we mentioned briefly the fires that have been happening in LA. Obviously it's where a lot of Bravo lebs live as well, right? We have OC, we have Beverly Hills, we have all the other casts that have come through over the years. And so as far as the Bravo lebs that have been affected, the Palisades fire, Bose lost her home.
Yeah.
But no, it was not
Malibu.
Her Malibu residence. And I think it's kind of been a little gross, all the people who were well, she's got 2 homes and she's got all this money. It's I don't know how you could ever like say to someone who loses their residence, and especially if it's like a dream home situation, that they shouldn't be bummed out about it because they're rich. Like that's still your memories. It's still, you still have your belongings there. But our hearts go out to Miss Bowes with that.
Yes, I know
And
she's
might I add, being rich in California is quite different than Minnesota. Okay.
Yes.
Having a couple $1 million out here, you may as well be poor.
Yeah,
very
pretty
true.
much.
Very, very true. All right, Miss Ramona, what else?
So, in other news, we found out today that Madison from Southern Charm is expecting a baby.
Yeah, it's a baby
Yes.
girl.
A
She did
baby girl.
a deal.
If you follow Southern Charm, you know that's something that ever since she found her dream man, that she has talked about wanting to have a kid. And he's had like so many health difficulties.
Yeah.
And so it just kept seeming like, gosh, they were never going to get to start a family of their own. And so she announced and went public with the story in People magazine today. So we're super happy for her on that.
Yeah, definitely.
There's been many a week that we have not been able to put our opinions on these shows and what's been happening. So we thought, even though we're already at the reunion stage and we're going to go over the reunion for Potomac in a little bit, what were your final thoughts, you guys, on the season?
It's boring, like up and down, up and down. So it's really hard for me to like stay engaged. Like I'll give it, like I'll be in it for like a couple episodes and it gets so boring, then I forget about it. Then it's like it's on in the background. But I think overall, they did really, don't want to use the word exploit, but use Karen's DUI as a storyline, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think when the season started off,
Jacqueline.
Yeah, Jacqueline. Yes. When the season started off, I was like, oh, okay, they really are like from the Robin of it all. People didn't want to lose their job. So I mean, I felt like they really got there quick.
Mm-hmm.
Drag it out. It was like, oh no, first thing we're going, talk about it or don't come back kind of thing, I felt. So I
She
felt like
will be vindicated, honey.
And then we have, Mia, who she just took us on a ride.
A love and hip hop ride. Okay.
I was just gonna say, I feel like she was on the wrong show.
Yes.
It was.
When they called her out the reunion.
They're scrappy in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
When they called her out from like Blazers to Fashion Nova and Bravo did
I almost died. Because when I tell you, this girl here, Christina, has always been like the Fashion Nova of it all.
Make her stop. Make her stop. Because I just feel like, I'm going to say this delicately. It's like your body type and height requires well-structured boning, hymns, designer to flatter you. Like this Fashion Nova spandex ain't it, girl. It ain't it.
Mm-mm.
It ain't. And it's
structured clothing.
Yes. And it accentuates a part of her BBL that's hard to appreciate.
It accentuates the features that she has that can be looked as like, oh my gosh, like, beautiful, or, they make her really stand out. It's like they accentuate them in a bad way. It's like, wow, you really that tall in all that blue head to toe spandex. Wow, I didn't know spandex stretched that wide. Girl, you know what I mean? It's just,
girl, what size shoe is that? Is that a 13?
Yeah, it's like, exactly. Oh, the flip-flops, the Tory Burch flip-flops. I'm like, if you don't throw those away, because we stopped doing those in, early 2000s. So I'm gonna need those to stop for sure. Like, so yeah, we went down a road. But I felt like Potomac really tried this year. It really, really did.
You sound like Stacey when she was giving her opinion on Ashley singing at that G&E, that, she put forth such an effort. That was probably my favorite part of the season, was that one clip right there. The way I died. But she was like, she put forth an effort.
Such an effort.
Such an effort.
Yes. So what do you guys think about Potomac? We do not want to die here because we got so much to cover.
I'm like, it was okay. We'll get into the reunion in a bit. I thought Mia just brought down the class level. Like, I've never seen Essence magazine come for anybody in the reality TV space. Ever. And the fact that they did an op-ed of like kind of how classless she's been with and distasteful with this whole thing with her kids and the husband and the boyfriend. Like it's girl.
And
And the
baddies are out
girlfriend.
right now.
And the girlfriend. Yeah. And you have your husband, your boyfriend, and your girlfriend on the same show. Yes, for sure.
Hot ass mess.
Yeah, beyond.
Like as far as the new ladies, I think Stacey was such a good value add.
Oh, me too.
Oh,
I think
yes.
in Karen's mind, she's Stacey.
Yeah. I know it took me a second to I'm like, I know exactly what you mean.
When you
Here's who
said,
they can get rid of for me for next season. What's JC?
I think
I
those
thought they got rid of her.
I think those two, because when you said, I think the new girls were an addition, those were the first two that dropped into my mind, like Kay and JC. And I'm just like, no, they weren't. But you were talking about, I literally forgot about them. You were talking about Stacy, which I do think absolutely. But the other two, like Kay and her man, I was like, this is.
She's not a wife. Has she ever been married? Don't
He
know.
don't want to be a part of it. It's just
He
kind of
looked
boring.
crazy
Like
as hell.
she's
First off,
sweet, but
she's the
no.
best thing he could get. Let's be honest. Unless his pockets are really fat. And I looked at the house while they were filming it. I think she's the best he can get. He should be grateful.
I'm ready for Candace to come back.
I don't think she'll come back.
I think it would be a good addition
To be continued.
to bring her back to be continued.
To be with Giselle. Okay, we will pick up.
Yeah, let's because we have so much. So speaking of Potomac, the huge news that came out yesterday, the Grande Dame herself was sentenced yesterday to 2 years with 1 year being probation. So she's already been taken into custody for her DUI case from the summer. And she is going to serve 1 year in prison. What do you guys think about that?
I was shocked. I think the day before that came out, my mouth was still on the floor from this is her fourth.
Four.
My mouth was like, what? And I don't think I fully comprehend or it just didn't catch up yet that, oh, you're really about to go to jail. Like there is no more, like, why didn't you go to jail for the third time? That was your saving grace, like, so.
And that's what I think about, like all the people who are like, oh my gosh, this is only happening. They're making an example out of her because she's a reality star. It's like, no, it's because 3 other times they let her slide. Bitch, do you need to wrap a car around another pole and take someone out before you wake up? Like,
and not only that,
this is time number 4. You're going to jail.
Look at the damage she did.
Yeah.
This wasn't the first time. You know what I mean? Like, that's something to really think about. Like you did some hardcore damage to your 2017 Maserati, some damage.
Yes. But she was incredibly lucky because had she come into contact with a person and killed that person, then it's manslaughter. And then you're looking at serious time.
Yeah, and it's the fact that
it could have been way worse. Like if I was her, I would take it on the chin. Hope your man don't cheat while you
Where is Ray going? Where is he?
Who is he giving his baby powder to?
You would be surprised how many women will come out of the woodwork, or he might. Anyway, I hope there's still love after lockdown.
Okay,
the 2 of them.
Okay.
I think for me,
but seriously, just hope for that and just do your 1 year. Time flies when you're having fun.
Girl.
So moving right along, because I'm pretty sure the Potomac and the Karen of it all, it's not gonna die.
I'm disappointed because we didn't even get to have the cameras rolling and like get her prepared to go to jail.
No.
Oh, that was planned. That's why she didn't show up to the reunion. Like, I think, Tiana, I think you maybe said it best. It's like, because she quit the show. Or did she quit the show because she knew she was going to jail?
I mean, she knew she was going to jail. She just didn't know how long.
She quit the show because she never wanted to have to answer to calling herself Thomas Jefferson's concubine.
I think depending on the bag, she would have came back and let them film her getting ready to go to prison. And she could be fabulous before that. And walk on in.
But the check,
I think she should have tried to cash in on some Bravo specials and whatever else she could cash in on.
Yeah,
because I don't know what Papa Ray is bringing in these days. So
also, I don't know if they'll let her be on Ozempic in prison. You think they'll let her be on Ozempic still? Because I think she's on Ozempic or Wegovy or one of the semi-glutides.
No, I don't think so. But that's should be the least of her worries.
For sure.
But I was looking to see when does she
Not
report,
really,
and then I
they
saw they took her already.
Sodium.
Oh, I think she should try to cash in on a Bravo special or two. I was surprised that they took her in immediately. Like normally when these Bravo stars get sentenced or
you have
jail time,
X amount of days to turn yourself in.
Yeah, like
because
okay, you're gonna turn in.
Judge.
Like Jen Shaw had like a couple weeks or a month or something like that. Teresa had time.
She completely offended the judge. It's her fourth DUI. She went to a wellness center instead of a treatment center.
She went to a resort.
They had wine tastings and massages.
I don't know if there's a Rehab Association of America, but if there is, I would speak out.
Decertify them.
Yeah, like wine tastings.
I don't think she went to a rehab. I think she went to a wellness spa. And so they're going to have wine at wellness spa. Like most of the people go there, they ain't in trouble for anything.
Yeah, they're
on vacation.
Well.
She went to a retreat in Arizona. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, it's a retreat. A retreat and a rehab are two completely different things.
And even in her message that she gave to the court, she says that, the issue is mixing alcohol with medication. I should never have alcohol with medication. It's like, girl, come on now.
Right? Okay, guys, we've got
so much more.
It's been a while. I get it, but RHONY, let's get
okay. Final thoughts on RHONY.
Bryn, bye. That's what I got to say. Bryn, bye. Like, just I
think she is a troubled soul.
Beyond and lacks self-awareness, lacks the fact that this you don't even know. It's like you say you like being the shitster or carpal tunnel or whatever that line was. But you really don't understand like the havoc you're really causing. You know what I mean? So it's like it was disgusting to watch. It never died down. It just It was like one thing started, another thing started, another thing started, another thing started. We saw that Rebecca Minkoff isn't coming back.
Makes sense.
Thank God.
Once she didn't want to talk about Scientology, I said,
why are you here?
She wasn't allowed to talk about Scientology. Is that what you really mean? Like, she cannot talk about Scientology?
Christina, don't make those people come for us.
I'm like, are they listening?
Moving on. Next cast member.
Yes. And then, I mean, before we get to the Puerto Rico of it all, was there anything else? Like, I feel like no one else was really giving. Like, I feel like Jenna wasn't. You
don't feel like the pranks were giving?
No.
I hated that. I just, the housewives were not good enough at producing to be producing the show. And that's what they've been trying to do.
Yeah.
All season long. It fell flat. And I will say the entire season, Bryn was just doing one misstep after another. Although I do, with the whole thing that really blew up in Puerto Rico, I kind of understand what happened. I don't think she meant to lie and say that Uba, heard her divulge her sexual assault when she hadn't. And I think in her mind, Uba did know because she mentioned it, but I could see why Uba, there was so much going on that she missed it. So I think two things can be true. But what I do think was absolutely disgusting to me, the most offensive thing was her making up that complete lie about Jessel and her true love that she had, like, just totally made up. Like, when in the reunion, when they were talking about like that, I was like, wait, what? That conversation never happened? Oh, Bryn, you are a sick puppy. And it's more than just, I must have remembered the details a little different. Like, no, you created a whole fairy tale in your head. And I think it's just because she's just a very damaged soul.
The way she brought it up on camera. And I'm like, it really happened. It's just like, and I was like, you took the time to bring it up, and here you are talking about the reunion, and it's like it never went down like that. That's the sick part. But there's one also
weird thing to like make up about somebody.
Yeah, so it's very unfortunate that we saw that. I think after filming wrap that Erin lost her dad.
Yeah.
To lung cancer, right? But she was like, it was his second time. This is so wild to me. It was his second time. He got cured of it and thought he was cured and went back to smoking.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I missed that part.
And I was like,
cigarette. It's just such a difficult thing to kick. Just a lot of people are not successful at doing it.
Definitely when I saw that or like heard that, I was like, oh, my heart really went out to her. And then we saw her, she was responsible for bringing mezcal to, the United States.
Thank God she discovered it.
Yes,
Thank God for Aaron and her husband.
Yes. I haven't seen it on any shelves though.
What is the brand?
I don't. I was like, if I walked right by it, wouldn't know what it was. Can you please share with the class?
Maybe it's
what is it called exactly?
Whole category. Maybe she gets a cut of every SKU that enters that category because she's responsible for bringing it to the.
Well, she should copyright it if this was her creation and invention and discovery. So absolutely.
Yes, I think we also too really quick before we wrap get into the uba of it all. I don't know what it is or was, but is it a sense of entitlement or did the show help perpetuate this ego? Like a lot of I'm too good for this.
It's three things. It's the show, sure. I also think it's her upbringing, right? Like thinking about where she grew up, the country that she's come from. I think she feels as if she's entitled to certain things now because she may not have had access to it in the past, right? But I think the third and most important thing is this new, extremely wealthy boyfriend who has a part-time home in Connecticut that he lives full-time in.
So she moved in with him. I remember saying that. I'm like, okay, so is this going to be like Mia, who they say live in Atlanta, and she sits in the back of the plane, and we'll get to that. Well, Uba will be flying back or driving back.
I'll say
she basically won't really be living in New York.
I think most New Yorkers that are like kind of old money, they love a home in Connecticut for whatever reason.
Got it. Okay. To be continued. We'll see what happens because you also know that the casting was held online, as we saw in our chat. There was a lot of
screen.
Like on Instagram, like be a New York housewife kind of thing. So,
well, time to get back in their casting bag.
Oh, absolutely.
And give us a good actual season. But Tiana, that's a good point about what changed with her with the boyfriend because I'm like, I don't remember her annoying me this much in the first season. But boy, did she this year. And I found her behavior in Puerto Rico to be so vile, so like just disgusting.
Though.
The beach, I'll give it up.
Yes, just so rude to it's like, come on. Like Raquel is like literally right here, and you're just like totally talking shit about the country and the people. Like, just Lord knows, I've been in places sometimes where I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to sit down. But you don't want to offend people and actually like say that out loud and like have that on your face. Like have a little bit of class, Uba.
Uba, if you're listening, we love you. Heart.
Yes.
Come on,
love you.
Heart.
Listen, she said, "Fuck that shit." Do you know what I've been through? And same. I'll be honest. Maybe would have tried to have a touch of a different approach, but bitch, I'm not going on this beach. This is gross. And that's no shade to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say in her defense. It was just like the pigeon. I was like, oh, and
I just think you're already there and you're on camera and this girl like put all these activities together. Like just suck it up. I'm not saying you have to gush and say it's the most beautiful place you've ever been, but you don't need to be negative Nancy. Like I just think that's bad manners. And the size of the room was too small. It was just like everything that
that was
just too much of the diva card.
Yeah.
And I just like being around those kind of people. I've always found those kind of people to be exhausting. And I found her behavior to be exhausting on that. Love her. Would love for her to come on the show. But I wasn't a big fan.
Yeah. Okay, but we
got to move on.
And we're moving on to
Salt Lake City. Final thoughts on that. Boy,
just saying,
is Salt Lake City doing the Lord's work?
What'd you say, Tiana?
Best season ever.
Oh,
yes.
It's so much. I think
best franchise of them all. I'm gonna say it. They win.
I think MVP for sure. Mary Crosby.
She showed up this season.
She did, and I felt like the conversation she had with her son was so honest. So, like she really kind of like got like, this like huge recognition. Andy was like, wow, that's so profound. Like everyone was just like really like Mary supporter. But when I saw it just as a viewer, I was like touched. I was like, oh my gosh, this is not only is it good television, but it's just like this is what reality should be. Because I feel when we get on the like after the third or fourth season, they get housewives training, they get PR training, they get like etiquette, how to handle yourself in front of a camera, and they're just too aware. So then it's like you're just a polished version of what you think should be in front of the camera. And I felt like all of that.
That was, by the way, the problem with New York. I think they got there by season 2.
And I also think part of that issue was Brynn causing fights with everybody.
Yes. Like just unnecessarily. But
back to Salt Lake, I agree with you, Christina. That's like, like you're 100% on target with that. And it's like, when we had a few years ago with the Jen Shaw stuff, and then we had the Monica, like the Jen Shaw thing, like lasted, I think, about 2 seasons. Then we had Monica. It's like, you know what? It's this many years in a row. Can we just go ahead and give these people the title? Because Salt Lake has been delivering.
Yes. And then we had Bronwyn, our newest addition. We had Brittany.
Yes.
Oh, we had Brittany's high body count hair.
Yeah, I was like, we had
I need her to come back.
Brittany's jump offs.
Yeah.
I need her to come back. Actually. I need Bronwyn to come back. Like A+ for your debut season, Bronwyn.
Oh, absolutely.
These ladies, Salt Lake delivered. They left no crumbs. They owe me nothing as a Bravo viewer.
Absolutely. And then Angie too, which I thought like when Angie was first a friend and they like gave her snowflake, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this one. But
me too.
But I feel like in order to be a really good housewife, you have to have the housewife elements. And I feel like this is why some of them, we're not going to name any names, but if we were, but we're not. I feel like some of them don't really land that well because they don't they're on the Bethany track. You know what I mean?
They're on the come up.
Yeah, I need this show to make me the wheels and already made before I came to it. Like I think Brock could like leave it no problem and never look back. You know what I mean? Like Vanderpump, that was just like the biggest kind of like housewife exit. Like I don't need this. Goodbye. Like we're moving. So I think that's kind of what really adds to it as well. And every single one of them are at that like level of housewives.
Yeah. Like that franchise, they got it right with that one.
It's something in Utah. What can I say? It might be something in Utah.
Right. Okay. Where
okay, so sorry, because I know we still have a lot more to get into, but just one, I'm gonna just go into one other like major.
There's so many that are there's so many.
There's so many, but we have to bring up the fact that Paige and Craig broke up.
Okay, I was hoping you go with this one. I was hoping because as you guys all know, I was Team Craig, and I'm still am Team Craig. I feel like now that her cast, now the show, we're like what 2 or 3 episodes into Summer House. Her cast is coming out hard, really defending her. Carl just came out today in Us Weekly saying Craig really caused a lot of drama with all of us with filming. We had Watch What Happens Live, Lindsay on there, and Sierra defending Paige. I get it. You guys are defending her.
Yeah, that's their girl.
Right. But before that, I was like, wow, like the way it was done. And then we see her with the VP. I don't know what he does, but he's something related to football. They're like holding hands. I was like, okay, little, this don't look that great. And it's really allowing Craig to be looked at as the one who was shitted on in this exit.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, because I'm all about woman on their ish. Her and Hannah just got announced for hosting the Vanity Fair party.
I didn't hear that.
Yes.
More ish of the week.
Fix that face.
Really?
You know what? I love to see it. Love to see it.
Yes.
Get it.
And it was
something to see.
Their Tiana, shut up. And their podcast is on a 60 date, 60 state like tour stop. I don't know the right terminology, whatever.
Love it.
But like 60 cents, I'm just like, okay, bad bitch. I see you.
Yeah.
I see you. Get that bag, you're securing it. And I mean, now it's like okay, I have a different lens on. I still love Craig. I'm still very team Craig, but it's just like you want not something more or better, just want something different. Craig lives in the South. You are
She's just very calculating. I think at the time it was convenient for her, an opportunity for her to pop into a different show when her show's not filming.
I totally disagree because honestly, watching this season of Summer House, if this bitch comes back next year, I'm just like, okay, then you're dispelling my myth about you. Like you use this as leverage to kind of level up. You've done that. Let this go. Because right now,
you let the relationship go, she'll probably let the show go.
And I think also too, like Bravo in general, like we see like with Hannah, she's just fine with no Bravo. And I think when you can do that, don't become a lifer, as Jeff Lewis says, because the lifers, that ain't cute.
No.
I'm naming names, but I really want to name a name right now, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it's time. I also think that she has outgrown Summer House. Sierra's almost there herself. Lindsay
on got no fucking business being on Summer House. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go home.
I think Carl, there's nothing more to say. Like several of them, like it's time to, get some new blood, new energy.
Bravo hates new blood, and I just don't know why.
Yeah, I think it's because it's changed because it's like this formula has worked. You don't know if the new is going to work. It's like you need some innovators behind the scenes to forward think that a little bit. But that's the conversation for another day. So where are we going now, Miss Ramona?
There has been a buzz about the casting for the next season of Real Housewives of New Jersey. And one of the
lifers I was talking about is on there, but I'm not going to say any names, though.
One of the lifers?
Lifer.
So we know they are keeping
Teresa. Is it confirmed or is it still speculated?
There are a couple of reputable outlets who have said that it is confirmed that Dolores, Teresa, and Melissa are all coming back, but everybody else is dropped. But I'm team Melissa, so I'm really I'm very excited about the prospect of her coming back. I love me some Dolo, so glad that she's coming back too.
Okay. Dun dun dun. We're getting into the meat and potatoes of it all. What has been going on with all of these shows? Well, not all, because we didn't have enough time to really get into all of them and talk about all of them. But now we have like so many like housewife shows that we need to wrap up. Starting off with, the meat and potatoes. And we got into it a little bit. We got into like the Potomac of it all. But we're going to do a little bit deeper dive on kind of how the season was. We're going to be focusing only on the reunion. So part 1, part 2, and part 3 is happening this week. So part 1, best Giselle has ever looked. What the fuck is up with the nails? Did she get that neck done? Those are my questions. Like,
it's the fact that this is the best that Giselle has ever looked, and I don't like it. It looked like she got this dress from Santee Alley. If you don't know what that is,
it's like really close up. It's like
poorly made.
Oh, I wasn't talking about the dress. It's the hair for me. The textures aren't blending.
That's what I've been looking at that hair.
It's not. The textures are not. It's like a chunk of blonde. You can tell that's like one big cluster. If she unclipped, it would come out kind of thing. But
collectively, it's the best she's ever looked.
Yes. I'd like collectively pan out. No, absolutely, hands down. I was like,
iron to that neck. I don't see no wrinkles.
And I think what's also her look the best that she's ever looked is they all look really good together. like all of the dresses together. Like they look well.
First
cohesive.
time ever.
Yeah, like thank God Jacqueline was not permanent because I'm like, you look uncomfortable. Like it was just like,
and also she didn't look pregnant at all.
What'd you think that was? Turkey dinner? What did you think that was? Thanksgiving? What did you think that was?
Turkey dinner.
I'm gonna say it and I'm gonna take it back.
Not turkey dinner.
She looked the same like she looked the whole season.
Okay. That I'll give you.
Miss Wendy. I don't know, what is Karen's deal with Wendy?
I don't. That was really weird. I'm like, why does she dislike her so much? And she's fake as all get out because you wouldn't know it by the way she interacts with her on camera. I hated that, but I absolutely believe that she said all those things to Stacey.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think they nailed it on the head too. And there was like, Karen ideal relationship is when she is the mother hen.
Mm-hmm.
When she's not, it's like it doesn't work for her anymore. I was like, oh, I could definitely.
Yep.
All right. So we have Mia being a liar, Ink forever.
Yeah, I love how you're already over that. Okay.
It's just like, okay, girl. I just like really honestly want to just skip Potomac altogether and go to Married to Medicine, but we're gonna run through this quick. I don't even Ink was hard for me to just watch.
Look at
story. It was just hard.
I hated this storyline so much.
Gordon was like, I think they said it best, senior abuse. Like this man does not need to be. It's kind of like Melania, our first lady. I think.
Oh, I thought you meant.
She was like, I just wanted to go on a date.
Hey, sex worker, where are we going with this? In what way?
I went so many ways.
Okay.
I just wanted to go on a date and like meet a nice man. And this is too much work for me. I'm not trying to be the first lady. Right. And then I feel like that's Gordon. He's like, I just wanted like, you know, to be someone's like sugar daddy, like live the rest of my life out.
Have someone serve me steaks and ball gowns.
Exactly. Yeah. And get laid every night or go to the strip club every, whatever the case may be. Not this shit.
Yeah.
like where
it was humiliating what they did to this man this season.
Oh, so humiliating.
I hated it so much. And I'm glad the ladies like gave it to her in the reunion. And you know, and then she with the crocodile tears and all that. I'm like, she needed to be told how janky and tacky and classless all of this was.
Yes.
And this fake storyline that you were in cahoots with your lover on the side. And I just
when Wendy called her out on it and said like they were all in cahoots, I was like, that's a lot. That's a lot.
I think so.
Really?
I think there is no line for this woman. If you will go on national television saying that you don't know your child's father, who your child's father is, and you need a paternity test, but this is a child that you conceived via IVF, I don't even know what to say to that. I don't even know what to say to that.
We won't get on
She's just such a liar because she was like
the IVF story because I'm
like, we didn't know because we asked and they were like, no, that's a lie. They do a test before they do. Well, you know, when it does, it's not detected, but they do a blood test. Well, it's like, girl, you are a liar, but like, why would you want this to be a storyline? Like, to me, that information about that it may be Ink's baby, and like that's something that somebody else brings up and like blasts you with that you wanted to keep a secret. You don't volunteer this.
Yeah,
to be a part of your story. And how embarrassing for your son.
She loves saying some stuff like that. That's how I fell out.
I feel bad for her son that like eventually is gonna like it's so embarrassing for her kid.
Yes.
I feel bad for her oldest kid as well. Because he's like of a certain age where he has his own social media, his friends have social media, and everyone has an opinion, and he's in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's probably getting it too, but I'm sorry. The whole thing, oh, your mom didn't know who your dad had to go on TV. And like my heart goes out to little Jeremiah for that one. That's gonna be rough.
Okay, little Frankie. Okay. Jeremiah. Insert Gregory singing here. Married to Medicine. Get on with my life now. I want to get on with my life now. I got a brand new wife now. I want to move through my life now.
Good God Almighty.
The video.
I can't.
I was like, well, he's being funny, right? Like this is a joke.
He dead ass.
See the episode? Did you see the episode where he like premiered into the guys and they were like laughing, like hurt that they were laughing? I was like, I'm confused. I'm really confused. Like he was like
with his hype man in the back.
Oh, man. She came on at the end, but I was so more confused when he's like, these lyrics was just pouring out of me and I had to get him. I was like, oh, okay, he felt moved. He like, I understand that. But then when he started singing, I'm like, it's like a sex tape. You don't go and show this to the boys.
No. Like, so cringy.
So
cringy.
You don't do that. Like, you don't say like,
I didn't even like Dr. Scott doing his little performance at the beginning of the season. Sure. His rap performance was corny. This is another okay. Dr. Gregory, please.
So we've got to get into the show.
Let's get into the episode.
Let's work our way backwards. You guys know, because I've been talking about it for the last week now, Miss Feifei. She took me out. She fucking took me out. That whole conversation on the beach when she's like, Miss Feifei, he don't care about you. And it was I died. I'm like, how do you call her Miss Feifei? And then her comeback.
I was like, baby, we saw a whole nother Phaedra come out there.
A whole nother Phaedra. And
that was so wrong for them to do that to her.
It really badly on the beach. And it was a lot that was cut out.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that would make sense or justify why she decided to leave. Because regardless from a viewer, and I know this is where me and Tiana, it's really gonna like go toe to toe because she loves Heavenly, and I think Heavenly sets us back as Black women at least a good 50 years. I'm just like, what are we doing right now? Let's be educated, let's be proud, and you are taking us to the gutter, child.
It's toxic.
Exactly, and she did that, inviting Apollo. Now, outside looking in, yes, Phaedra does come off like a little highfalutin, and I do think that she used this platform to get herself back in her Bravo door.
And she did. Absolutely. And she disrespected her coworkers while she did it.
Yes, and she didn't need to do that. Just from a viewer, but it was great TV, and that's what Heavenly did give us, was great.
She gave us great TV.
Yes, but I'm just like, oh, okay.
She definitely did, and she makes me laugh all the time. As tacky as I think she is, she makes me laugh all the time. But that was dead ass wrong, because it's not just that it's her ex-husband's wife. It's the woman he cheated on Phaedra with. Like, I don't care who you are. That is a lot for any woman to have to like deal with.
I think, but it's also too, it's like,
because her kids go to their house. You know what I'm saying? And
they have to go to their house. That's their father.
Right. So eventually you do have to have some sort of something with this woman because she is around your children.
Yes, but she doesn't have to come on vacation with you and your girls.
I think
that would be floating in the water next to you.
I think Phaedra brought this upon herself.
How?
I think to an extent, I wouldn't say to this extent, but I do think to an extent she did put them up against the wall in a way of kind of just like, well, they're going to come out swinging. Like, you think you're too good for this, bitches like you. What was that comment? She's like, I'm not going to bitches like you say I am not going to be able to do something, or I'm not going to show up. I was like, oh, okay, that's unnecessary. But also too, we don't know really what's going on behind the scenes or whatever. And I'm not really trying to dive in and defend anybody. Just from a viewer, I'm just like, why the fuck is Apollo there? Like, I don't understand. And her fucking man, Phaedra's man, I forgot his name, the one that's for the streets, the Atlanta streets. He forgot.
Torso.
Check.
Davis torso.
According to the badly
Check.
built
With her chest.
for everybody. Yes. I was like,
That's
can someone please, can the cameraman please pick an angle and not his torso? Why is Phaedra filming with his torso? Every shot, it was just like, I can't be the only one that's frustrated with this. And when he's running on the beach, trying, it was like the giant amongst all the children.
Literally.
Like he was like, I was like, this is so funny. I cannot. Anything else we want to cover in Married to Madison? We said Toya's Birkin shower, which was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
I just
it
really
was the cheapest Birkin party I've ever seen. Her that was so dumb. The catering, where was the decorations?
It was just dumb.
You didn't even gift the ladies anything from Hermes.
No, I thought that whole scene was just dumb. Like they just needed something to film. You could have filmed anything else but that. It was just dumb.
She said, "Boy, get in the kitchen."
It was like super bougetto was what that was.
And the bag
for a $30 for a bougetto for a $30,000 bag. I'm just like, oh
yeah, like I hated that. I thought it was classless.
Then the first fight of the season, which was at the Dude Ranch, heavily in Cone.
Oh. No, that was so bad when she was, like, are you talking about my dead mother? Do you want to? Yeah, your mom, like.
Please, Tiana, please go ahead, defend Heavenly here because.
Please defend that.
Yes.
I mean, they're arguing.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this is where, Heavenly's from Dade County. I'm from LA County. The county comes out at me. You know what I'm saying? If we're arguing, first off, I don't think she meant it that way, but I think
she tried to give her an opportunity.
She wants to go out of her way to make Heavenly look bad, and it's like,
but she tried to give her. Oh no! I'm sorry. Excuse me for cutting you off. She was trying to give her an opportunity to walk it back. She was like, "You mean my mother who died in 2010?"
Contessa's a fucking liar.
Her mother didn't die. She made that.
Her mom didn't die.
No, her mom definitely died. Did she care in that moment? I don't think she did. I think this was a time for her to try to make Heavenly look bad because she knows that that's what Heavenly's going to say. She knows that she's going to double down on it.
Okay, but ultimately Heavenly could say, "I'm sorry, I completely forgot that your mom passed, and I apologize. I shouldn't have said your mother."
That's not not even at the reunion. I don't think that's coming out of Heavenly's mouth. So, like I said, the three are divided here. We don't need to die on this hill.
Can I just say one more thing before we go to the next show? That scene with Gregory and T when they got back from the trip, and especially when they were like behind closed doors, I'm like, oh, there's the Dr. Gregory.
Mm-hmm.
We know this is the man the Quad was married to. The way he was talking to her, like he was talking to her so crazy. I really am looking forward to the reunion, him like having to talk about that scene.
All Sweet Tea is gonna do is double down on it.
Because you know what also too, like they do I feel like they do the interviews in one city and they make them change outfits, right? So they're sitting there talking about it. She's close to him, holding his you know what I mean? And they're cutting back the scene in the interview. And I'm like, ain't no way. And she's trying to be like real calm, like just be quiet. Just he's like,
what she's saying is, hey dummy, the cameras are and the microphones are picking up all of this.
And he's like, I don't care. And I'm like, and then you go and see. I'm sorry, I never really thought of any of the men on this show. Like, not lusted after, not thought a second thought after the show went off. Nothing. I didn't
their background.
Yeah, didn't pay attention. And I started paying attention to them now. Like, I really like Eugene. I think he's solid.
Oh, he's so funny.
I think he's a great husband. I just like
Toya talk bad about him.
I just like him all around. Like he's like a ride or die, stand behind my woman. I love that.
I also love Cecil.
Cecil, yes, I like Cecil too. He's just like cool, chill.
He's cool and chill.
And then I started paying attention to Dr. G, and I'm like, what a bitch!
Yeah,
like this is a bit like a straight bitch. Like when he was married to Quad, like the whole foaming at the mouth thing, I never got it. I was like, first with a question mark on her face, like what? Why? Like whatever. Moving on. But this is just like it just rings in my head. And after the video of him singing out his feeling, I was like, you think this is okay? Like, and filing a police report
for almost getting your ass whooped. I've never heard of it.
That's why I'm like, what did the man do to you?
I think that was the charge, almost assault. It wasn't that. Bitch.
But and you know what? I also love. Speaking of the husbands, I love that. I also really like Damon, and I like that Damon was like, yeah, I understand. Like if someone told my woman, like.
Got it.
You know, shut the F up and whatever. Like, yeah, I'm gonna defend her. So, like, what did you expect the man to do?
That's not how he sound, Ramona. How did he sound? It was like a little 5 octaves lower, and on like a speed out of 1 out of 10.
I just wanna.
I'm dead.
I understand. I understand, and you know, you have to defend your woman.
Shut up.
Yes. That was him. I'm like, okay, I need you to talk a little faster. Just a little. But yeah, no, I think it's, to me, I like it when they like support the women and let them be them. So he lets Heavenly, you know, be her, period. And there's a respect that she has for him. Like, look, Greg and Sweet and Low, what is her name? Lipton.
You can call sweet and low, sweet and slow, whatever you want.
sweet and slow. I was like, there's just no respect, especially
he doesn't have respect for women, period.
Yeah.
Nope.
Even how he was like trying to restrain her. Like you can tell, like Damon, he was trying to keep his wife back, but you know, he wasn't grabbing her, trying to call her and talk to her, all kind of crazy. He was just
I just think he just played his hand at like how much, like what Quad intended to do. She was very successful because it got all the way under his skin.
He's been heated since he heard 15 times a week.
You started seeing smoke coming up. Yeah. Out his little ears.
Couple that with the sprinkle of, I want to get this man a baby and he's a great father. Dr. G was done.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of that.
We have got to move on. Our last show. Yes, it is our last show. Our last show, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yes.
And
I don't even know where to begin.
This week it has been giving because for the people who do watch our show, you are Bravo historians just like we are. So we are not going to really kind of spend time recapping on where we're picking up.
Let's just talk about the recent episode.
We're just gonna get into it. So this week, Sutton has, you know, come out really led with wealth. Like you always knew that was like her, like you always knew that was like her card, right? Because there is nothing else, right? So you know, wealth is her card,
nothing. But not a damn thing else.
Yeah.
This week,
not style, not grace.
She has led all the way with it. And I find it so odd because we've run a lot of polls on social media. We've asked a lot of questions. We've even looked at other accounts where they're asking questions and the vote is split.
I don't understand it.
I do not either. There is no excuse to, when you are talking about one thing that is completely unrelated to, like, I'm just over, you just need to,
that you didn't like get because of how amazing you are or how talented you are or how intelligent you are.
Yes. But to say that, like, to me, what it screamed was like, oh, she's been waiting for an opportunity to use this line.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it came out of the blue. You're upset because Dorit has been insinuating that you have a drinking problem and that's your trigger. Okay, have that conversation. But then to get into why that's problematic for you and spin it to, I'm just over it. You need to argue with someone whose wallet fits. First of all, that sentence didn't even make sense. I'm like, what does that mean? I mean, I knew what she was trying to say, but someone whose wallet fits.
Yeah, but if you also remember, like when she's in the car leading up to getting to the caftans and caviar, she tells, who is she sitting next to? Tilly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's sitting next to somebody, and they're like, and she's like, oh, I'm not playing nice today. It's like she already, it was like premeditated. For
I
sure.
think
this was
for
the
her,
assignment.
this whole season has been premeditated.
Yeah.
And I hate to be so cynical, but I even think down to having the viewers be sympathetic with her, and having the viewers see her childhood home that, you know, her father like abused alcohol in and ended his life in. I think all of this was a ploy to really dig into Dorit, if I'm being honest with you. You've never seen her talk about her mother like that. I mean, she's talked about her, but never been on a trip before. Her mom has only been on that one time where she had her grand opening for her store. I think it's just a big way for her to shape how the viewers feel about her versus Dorit.
It didn't work on me.
I was about to say it didn't. I don't
It
know.
worked on 50%, apparently.
Maybe it did.
Cannot believe
so
50% of people like
that has definitely made me look at it differently, because I was just like, why is everyone kind of like 50-50? So, but also too, it's like, I guess Dorit is not playing up the sympathy card. I guess what she's also doing. So you guys have got to watch the after show, because I feel like they have a little bit more autonomy on their commentary.
so now that the dust has settled.
Exactly. So a couple things that I've noticed is that one, she keeps harping on how phony and mean Dorit is, how mean she is to PK. That's the meanest thing she's ever seen, calling him an alcoholic on the first episode. So I can kind of see it now.
Yeah.
And then
what's it to you, Seton? That's not your man, or is he your cousin? Like, what's it to you how she treats PK?
Absolutely. And then two, it's like she is really coming for Bose on this show.
Like, and she is.
and that is a mistake. Not only
is she coming for Bose, I think Garcelle wants her to go after Bose for her as well, because she feels like as a Black woman, she can't just go after Bose because she doesn't have anything to go after.
But I feel like it's like, I've been kind of playing devil's advocate a little bit, and I'm just like, Bose is going to eventually respond. She's going to stop being corporate. Yeah. She's going to start being like corporate polite, and she's going to respond. But the question is, how is she going to respond? Because she is corporate, right? Is she going to, like, you know, she has to walk that fine line. You know, I'm not going to keep being disrespected or kind of just painted like this on national television. But at the same time, I'm not going to come off as an angry Black woman or destroy what I've built over the years with these prestigious companies. So I keep thinking, like, what is going to be your response? But I hope at the reunion, she really, really puts it all in perspective with Sutton. And it's just like, it's real simple. Keep my motherfucking name out your mouth and we'll be good. Yes. That's it. That's all. Like, we don't got, we could keep it polite and cute. Keep my motherfucking name out your mouth. And I'm waiting for the moment. And I think it's going to be so eloquent and so sassy and so smart.
Because that's who Bose is. Like, I love her. She's been such a great addition this season. But I think anyone trying to come for her, okay, duck around and find out. Oh, that is not wise.
And I feel like every time Kyle goes up against her, she just looks like
I'm a victim.
Wailing, just wailing, like, Kyle, shut up.
Yeah.
Like you could tell, like, also too, like the HBIC persona is a little breaking down a little bit.
Yeah.
Just so, and now
this divorce, this situation with Mauricio is breaking her down.
Oh, for sure. But you know, she has the ace of her corner, Kathy Hilton. I mean,
yeah.
So it's like, I love seeing that, like, as we see on the next episode, like the beginning, like, I love seeing like their sisterly, like, bond. Kathy's like, they're both in the
Me
car.
too.
Kathy's like, how are you doing? And then she's like, wasn't that why you're asking me about Mo? She's like, yeah, but I was hoping you bring it up first. like
Love Kathy.
You see this sisterly, you know, all the drama
Yes.
issues that they have. You still see that they have each other's back, which I love. Wow,
Love me some Kathy.
This has been a great show, ladies. We can just keep talking and talking and talking.
I know. So much to catch up on.
I'm so excited for us to be back. We're going to be back next week. And then we're going to be talking about the Southerns, you know.
Yes.
World and the Southerns and the summer and Southerns of the world.
Yes.
Yana, take us out.
Listen, Bravo. I've been watching over the last couple of weeks, and we need to talk about this editing really quick. It's on my chest. It's on my heart. Like, the way that you've been editing is confusing. Like that episode of Married to Medicine that started off with chaos and you had to quickly figure out what was going on. The whole joke that happened between Dorit and Sutton. Like, we need just more. We need just a little bit more context. That's all I'm asking for. But other than that, I think the ladies are really bringing it, from Beverly Hills to Atlanta with Married to Medicine. I think that we are seeing some of the best seasons that we've had in a long time. Whether that's Salt Lake City, Beverly Hills, and seeing Dorit with that fucking cigarette. Oh,
you knew.
Woman after my heart. Woman after my heart. So honestly, Bravo, if it weren't for you, you know, giving a pause to Dubai, I'd say you were doing amazing. But you know, I think we have some things to fix. Number one being Dubai. We need to get that back on the schedule.
We need that off pause, and not like a Dorinda pause. Like, we really need that off pause.
Proper.
Yes.
We're about to go through housewife withdrawal.
Oh, we are.
Yeah.
Atlanta, and that's it.
Well, Miami will be a couple months after that, and then the desert.
Yes.
The Bravo desert.
Everyone, this has been such an amazing show. It's been this week. I was looking at this as a dress rehearsal, hence the way this all looks. But definitely like us, follow us. Don't tweet us because we're not on there anymore. But do all the things. Follow us on, you know, TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube. Engage with us because we love to hear from you. And it's been getting really good in the comments, so definitely keep it coming, guys. But until next week, we're going to give you another virtual episode next week. Bye, guys. It's been fun.
Bye.
I don't speak bullshit.